Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're tackling a pretty massive stack of sources. Again, really looking at personal mastery, productivity.
Yeah, and how to actually change your reality
Yeah.
based on all this material. We're digging into that mental architecture
Right, the stuff you need to move beyond just being, busy all the time.
and get to what? Next level greatness? Maybe. That's the
It's
aim.
like that. So our mission today, it's really clear. We want to pull out those key mindset shifts and importantly, the actual steps.
The practical stuff.
Exactly. The things you can do to really start to run the day instead of feeling like the day is just running you over.
We're searching for that operating manual, essentially, for strategic output.
Okay, so let's jump right in. Part one seems to be about mastering time, strategic productivity. Where do we start?
Well, the first big hurdle that comes up again and again in the sources is telling the difference between just being busy, perpetual motion.
And actually being productive.
Yeah.
Making progress.
Exactly. It's that trap, isn't it? You can feel like you're working flat out, answering emails, fighting fires,
Constantly reacting.
and then you get to the end of the day, and as the sources say, you have nothing to show for it. Really nothing that moved the needle.
So how do you break out of that? What's the fix?
It comes down to having a plan before you start, a strategy. The sources call it having a locked-in internal GPS.
An internal GPS. I like that metaphor. So knowing where you're going before you set off.
Precisely. You have to mentally prepare to, well, dominate the day, as some of the more intense sources put it. You need that destination clear.
And this isn't about magically finding more hours in the day, is it?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
It's about deciding. It's about planning, knowing what you need to do, and crucially, when.
Like, I'm working on this specific thing at 7:45, and then that task at 8:30. That level of detail.
Yes,
Yeah.
that specificity. Because without it, what happens?
You drift. You get distracted.
Distraction. That's cited as the single biggest killer of productivity. Procrastination is there too. Sure, maybe linked to anxiety or feeling overwhelmed.
Or thinking you have loads of time.
Right. But distraction is that constant moment-to-moment pull.
Which brings us to that alignment check idea. This really hit home for me.
It's powerful, isn't it?
Yeah. You say your goal is, I don't know, launching a business.
We're graduating, maybe.
Right. But then you look at your actual actions day to day. Video games, endless scrolling, just leisure time that isn't recharging you for the goal.
And the sources are blunt. If that's the case, your actions and your stated goals are simply not in alignment.
Your actions are the real truth teller.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Which leads to that classic quote, often attributed to Covey.
Don't prioritize your schedule.
Schedule your priorities.
Yeah.
Right. You have to identify what truly matters for your big goals and block out time for it. Protect that time.
That takes discipline, painstaking preparation, as the sources say.
Right. It does. You can't just hope you'll find time for the important stuff. You make the time. Everything else fits around it.
Okay, so that's the strategic side. Planning, focus, aligning actions. But that's only half the battle, right? What about the internal landscape, the mindset?
Exactly. That's part two. Because you can have the best plan in the world.
But if your head's not right, it falls apart.
Completely. And the core idea here is this concept of change. The sources frame it starkly. You are either evolving or expiring.
Whoa, evolving or expiring, that's intense.
It is, but think about it. Change is constant, isn't it? Mentally, emotionally, physically, even economically. Things don't stay the same.
So you're either actively growing, moving forward.
Or you're effectively dying or living, as some put it. Regressing, maybe. The only choice is whether you embrace that change as growth, as transformation.
Or you let fear hold you back.
Right. And what holds us back often comes from inside our own heads. This idea of a self-constructed matrix.
Not aliens this time.
No. This one's built by us, by our own thinking habits.
Okay, break that down. What's this matrix made of?
Two main things, according to the sources. First, there's the mental chatter, that constant voice in your head.
The inner critic, or just noise.
Both, often. It takes any little setback, any negative thing, and just blows it up, makes it feel an order of magnitude worse than it actually is.
Yeah, I recognize that. Turning a molehill into a mountain constantly.
Exactly. And the second layer is our mental models.
Okay, what are those?
They're your underlying beliefs about how things work, how the world operates, how people should behave, what your career path must look like.
Assumptions, basically.
Deeply held assumptions. And if you cling to them too tightly, they build these silos around your thinking. They stop you from seeing other possibilities.
So if something negative keeps happening in your life?
Chances are, the sources suggest, you're running on an old mental model. like using that outdated map you mentioned. It's just not serving you anymore. You need to question those core beliefs.
Which leads right into how we deal with difficulty, doesn't it? That common feeling of, ugh, life is hard.
It does. We complain it's hard to stay motivated, hard to exercise, hard to build a business.
All true sometimes.
But here's the flip the sources offer. Sure, that stuff is hard. But you know what else is hard?
What?
It's hard to stay broke. It's hard to be depressed. It's hard to be unhealthy or lonely.
Oh, okay.
Life is going to be hard in some direction. The only real power you have is to choose your hard.
Choose your heart. I like that. It reframes struggle as a choice, not just something happening to you.
Exactly. It puts the control back in your court. Because you always control your perspective, your response.
Which ties into that mindset shift, believing things happen for you, not to you.
That's the game changer. If it happens for you, you immediately start looking for the lesson, the opportunity, the silver lining, even in the tough stuff.
And to do that, you have to stop that instant labeling habit.
Oh, definitely. That immediate, this is bad reaction.
Yeah. The sources suggest looking back, right? Think about something you thought was terrible years ago.
A breakup, getting fired, some big failure.
And ask, honestly, did it maybe turn out to be pretty good in the long run? Did it push you somewhere better?
Almost always, you can find something. So the exercise for right now, for the listener, is to take a current challenge.
Something that feels bad.
Right. And just ask, is there any way this could possibly turn out to be a good thing in, say, 5 years? Just considering it opens up possibilities.
Yeah.
Takes you out of victim mode.
That shift in perspective, that's the fuel, isn't it, for finding the drive, the purpose we need.
Absolutely. That leads us straight into part 3. Hunger and purpose. You need that internal fire.
That desire. The sources say you gotta want it as bad as you want to breathe.
That's the level of hunger required. It acts like your internal security guard. It pushes you to improve, keeps complacency out.
Because getting full, getting comfortable, that's dangerous.
It's why many people stall. They lose that edge, that hunger that drove them initially.
But hunger needs direction, right? It can't just be ambition for ambition's sake.
No, it has to be tied to purpose. And that starts with asking the really big question. Why am I here on the planet?
Not just, why am I in this job?
Yeah.
But the big why.
Exactly. Think of that Mark Twain quote. The 2 most important days are the day you're born and the day you find out why.
That why becomes your compass.
It dictates everything. It separates the truly fulfilled from the just. Busy and successful on paper.
Okay, so you find this sense of purpose, this why. What then?
Then you have to focus. Specialize. Pick your lane.
You can't do everything.
Right. The sources are clear.
Yeah.
You can't be a world-class expert in 5 different fields or play 5 pro sports. Some goals are mutually exclusive. You need to choose and commit.
But how do you find that lane if you're unsure? That's the million-dollar question for a lot of people.
Well, the material gives us a framework, those 4 intersecting questions.
Okay, what are they?
1, what am I genuinely good at? Skills, talents. 2, what do I actually love doing? What lights me up? 3, what does the world actually need? Where's the gap, the problem I can help solve? And 4, crucially,
How do I get paid for it? Make it sustainable.
exactly, that sweet spot where all 4 overlap. That's where you find real, lasting purpose and passion.
And if you're still searching for that intersection, there are pathways.
2 main paths emerge. First, the skill-based path. You start with what you're already good at.
Your existing talents.
Right. And you focus on honing that skill and using it to serve others. Become world-class at that.
Okay, makes sense. What's the second path?
The service-based path. Think Gandhi.
Yeah.
You start by just helping people, getting involved in serving others' needs.
And through that process,
You discover what you enjoy doing, what you're good at, where you can make a difference. You find yourself when you lose yourself in the service of others.
So whether you start with skill or start with service, the goal is finding that intersection.
Yes. And the vehicle for getting there, for achieving anything meaningful, actually comes back to personal growth.
Which is part 4, the growth first principle.
This is huge. The advice is consistent. Put your own growth first. Dedicate that first chunk of your day, maybe 30, maybe 60 minutes.
To what? Meditation, reading, exercise.
Any of those. Things that develop you. Before you dive into work emails or external demands,
Why is that sequencing so important?
because the sources argue your career, your business. It's not the end goal. It's actually just the greatest vehicle for your personal growth.
So the business is like a gym.
Exactly. A gym for learning leadership, resilience, dealing with stress, communication,
Mm.
all of it. So even if the business venture fails in the traditional sense,
The real question is, did you grow?
precisely, that reframes everything. It makes you resilient to external outcomes because the internal growth is the real prize.
That connects to this unity rule idea too, doesn't it? Seeing yourself as part of a whole,
Yes, operating win-win, and tied right into that is forgiveness, letting go.
which the sources call a superpower.
They do, and there's data apparently. Studies showing radical forgiveness improves physical health, sleep quality.
And even makes life feel luckier. How does that work?
Maybe it just frees up so much mental and emotional energy that you notice opportunities you missed before. Or you're just lighter, less burdened.
Less energy spent on resentment. Makes sense. Okay, and the final big piece of this growth puzzle.
Reading. Consistently highlighted as maybe the strongest signal for future success.
Why reading specifically?
The quote is powerful. A reader lives 1,000 lives, a non-reader lives only one.
Wow.
Reading lets you download decades in days. You're learning from others' entire lifetimes of experience and mistakes in a matter of hours. It's an incredible leverage point.
A lot of people find reading hard or they don't do much of it. What are the roadblocks?
The sources identify 3 big ones. First, just lack of education on how to read effectively as an adult.
Meaning?
We're often still using the same techniques we learned when we were 6 or 7, sub-vocalizing every word slowly. But the information demands on us now are way higher.
Okay, so skill gap. What's second?
Lack of focus, mind wandering. But here's the counterintuitive bit. Often, the mind wanders because you're reading too slowly.
Reading faster helps focus. That seems backwards.
Think about driving a car slowly versus racing it. When you go faster, you have to concentrate more. Faster reading can actually force focus and improve comprehension for many.
Interesting. And the third obstacle?
Subvocalization, that little voice in your head reading along.
I definitely do that. Why is it bad?
Because it bottlenecks your reading speed to your speaking speed, which is relatively slow. Your eyes and brain can process visual information much, much faster than your inner voice can say the words.
So you don't actually need to hear every word in your head.
Not for comprehension, no. Think about abbreviations or how you can listen to a podcast sped up. You grasp the meaning without pronouncing every syllable. Breaking that habit is key to unlocking faster reading.
Okay, so we've covered planning, mindset shifts, finding purpose, and this constant commitment to personal growth, especially reading. If we pull it all together, what's the final message?
I think it's about iteration. Progress, not perfection. That's the mantra.
Failure isn't final.
Not at all. It's just data. An opportunity to learn and adjust your course. And the really hopeful part is the reminder about neuroplasticity.
Our brains can change, physically change.
Absolutely. You can literally rewire your brain through focusing on new beliefs, adding emotion, visualizing the outcome, and taking consistent action.
Over 30, 60, 90 days.
You build new neural pathways. You become a different person at a neurological level. Change is possible.
That's incredibly empowering.
It is. Because ultimately, we all operate based on a story, don't we? We have a money story, a health story, a relationship story.
Supported by our beliefs, our habits, the systems we live in.
And those stories tend to recreate the same reality over and over.
So the final thought, the question to leave people with as they start applying all this.
It's a powerful one to really sit with. Who would you be with a different story?
Who would you be? Okay. So embrace that learning process. Embrace the disruption that comes with growth.
Yeah, anything worthwhile is going to shake things up. You have
Yeah.
to build that resilience, that ability to endure right into your core.
Keep learning, keep pushing. Thanks for digging into this with me.
Always fascinating.
We'll see you on the next deep dive.